Welcome back to the link, everybody. Tuesday morning here. It is about 7:05, so hafide and buenas to all of you, no matter where you're joining us from. We are talking to gentlemen who are experts now on the topic of power production, power distribution, and power consumption. So who better to talk to and to pass on that information to you to let you know how you can reduce your power bill and be a responsible utility consumer than gentlemen with the Guam Power Authority. We have John Cruz, the Assistant General Manager of Engineering and Technical Services. Good morning, John. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Good morning. It's great to be here, and especially this bright and early in the morning.
Well, also we have Victor Cruz, who, Vic, I know that's not a virtual background behind you, but man, that is Victor a wonderful, wonderful painting. Vic is an engineer over at GPA, so your technical expertise on this topic, and obviously your artistic taste are impeccable.
Thank you very much. Pleasure to be here.
All right. And when I knew my buddy James Borja was coming on the show and everything like that, I knew he's dedicated his life to making people happy and keeping people informed. And as the customer services manager at GPA, James, certainly your voice is very appreciated on this topic of teaching people how to save energy and save their power bill. So it's good to see you, my friend.
All right. Good morning, and thank you for having us.
All right, right on. So guys, what do we need to know in this day? It's 2022. People have all sorts of devices. They're plugged into every single thing. Some people have, centralized air conditioning and split units and everything like that. John, we'll start with you. Like, what is the one thing that people have to know when it comes to consuming power and basically the way people consume power these days?
One of the biggest things is that we have a lot of electronics. We have televisions, we have video players, we have PlayStations and whatnot. And when we take the remote and we click it off, we think they're off, but they're not. There's something called vampire loads. And so those electronics are still consuming anywhere from 30% to 60% of the energy that they do when they're being in use. So having all of those electronics on a power strip and turning off that power strip after you're done with that can actually save you quite a bit of energy.
So we're talking about like unplugging, like what, your microwave, your
unplugging
like
your television, your entertainment electronics.
And I'm assuming you call it vampire mode because it continues to like suck the blood probably like out of your
pocketbook.
Yes, out of your pocketbook, out of your bank account. I mean, seriously. And we really feel for everybody because we're customers too. And this run up on oil has really punched the price of electricity and fuel oil up to near decade-long heights. And taking the time to educate people about energy efficiency, about conservation, and about the great rebate program, the Energy Sense rebate program that Guam Power Authority has, right, is something that we feel that we need to do. And thank you very much for giving us this opportunity.
Sure. Well, now, James, as someone who interfaces, with customers directly on a daily basis, but also, behind the scenes talks about, educational campaigns to make people aware of, like rebates and energy efficient appliances and how to best use those and everything. What are some of the topics that tend to bubble up the most when you talk to ratepayers?
Yeah, a big concern for majority of our ratepayers that I speak to is why has my power bill gone up? And granted, the fuel recovery charges have gone up tremendously in the last year. It's all about conservation and turning off those appliances or unplugging those appliances, what John said. But a lot of them would come in and say, hey, my power bill has gone up and I haven't done anything different. What's going on, right? So we can actually review their usage by looking into their meter, checking the meter health, and then we can run an analysis of their usage. And we can, basically a few questions we ask, right? How many ACs you have? How long do you keep it on? Those are things that we look at. Do you have lights that remain on? All those things we take into consideration, and we ask them, many people tend to leave their ACs or down to a very low temperature, like 69 degrees. And for me, I keep mine at 74. I keep it on 24/7. I have a 4-ton central air unit, which is equivalent to 48,000 BTU. And I keep it on 24/7. When I'm home, I lower the thermostat And when I leave the house, I raise it a few degrees, and that tends to help me with conserving or trying to save on energy. And that's what we try and help our customers with. And some of them have come back and they've been really stressed out about why is my power so high. And I made some suggestions to one of our customers, and he took it, and he came back to me and said, "Wow, the device you gave me, my power bill went down from about $800 to $900 down all the way down to $300-400." And basically, because ACs were being kept on 24/7 in the house in every room, and I said, you might want to, when you're not home, you might want to take this into consideration, maybe turn them off or raise the thermostat so that your air AC doesn't work as hard.
Mm-hmm. And are we talking about, James, like the climate control setting where, like if the temperature outside gets to a certain point, then, the aircon kicks in and regulates, the inside temperature? Or are we just talking about the fan is running 24/7?
Yeah, exactly what you said, Jason. So when it's hotter outside, like we've had fire warnings, right? So, when it's hotter outside, the AC is going to work harder to cool the home down, mm-hmm. right? So you ever notice, like if you ever turn off your AC in the day when you're gone, and then you come in the evening, your house could be really hot. Excuse me. And when you turn that AC on, it actually works harder to bring that temperature down, right? So if you think about that, for me, I used to do that. What I did is, hey, let me try keeping it on 24 hours a day, but I'll just adjust the thermostat or the temperature setting, and from there, I didn't see a big difference, but it helped the house remained cool, and the fans weren't blowing as hard because the air handling unit was it's a variable speed, right? When it reaches a certain temperature, it actually slows down, and then when it needs to raise that temperature, or decrease the temperature in the home, it actually the fan would kick on higher. And those are certain things that people can look at. And also, I wanted to mention myenergyguam.com. We have a website where you can actually monitor your usage, and you can see the peaks and the lows throughout the day. And that's something you can use to gauge yourself and how much energy you want to use through that month, or where the highs are, where the lows are.
Okay.
What is, and that's a good way to monitor your usage.
Right on.
Is there something else you could do? Because I remember seeing somebody, and they were telling me a story how they put something on their roof. They painted it. I can't remember what the material was. Elastomeric, yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been like 30 years since I've actually done the engineering testing on this. But I do remember that at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, going up to a roof and then taking the measurement of the temperature, mm-hmm. and it being about 130 degrees, and then going down and measuring, what heat's coming into the ceiling, and then also having a very high temperature. And then after putting the elastomeric coating, I noticed that I measured that we had like a 40-degree drop in the ceiling temperature, and that's a lot of excess heat that is being kept off of your roof, right? And the less heat that you can keep out of your home, the less heat that your air conditioner needs to take and cool down,
sure,
and make comfortable. So we're really big fans of having an elastomeric or silicone coating on your roof.
And that's spoken like a true engineer. And I'd like to bring another one in. So Vic, no one knows probably as well as you, given your responsibilities at GPA, because you monitor, like, and James is talking about, being able to measure and assess the peaks and valleys. When it comes to consumers, either, deliberately using more power than they probably should, or just, people like me that just don't know any better, but, with interviews like this, I'm able to actually be aware of what I'm doing and how I could do it better. How much strain does that kind of consumer activity put on the system, and how does it change with actually running, the core facilities that you maintain?
Okay, well, the more energy that our customers use, the more peaking units. It depends on the time of day, but the more units we need to run to meet that peak demand. So if everyone can reduce the amount that they're using, whether that be by energy conservation or energy efficiency, it puts less strain on our system. We don't need to build more generation capacity more power plants, and we have to burn less fuel. So it's overall better for us if you use less. It's kind of counterintuitive. You would think that we want you to use as much power as possible so we can charge you, but we really advocate for energy efficiency and energy conservation.
Right.
We talked a lot about the AC, right? But what are some other sorts of tips? Like there are so many other appliances in your home: refrigerators, your oven,
Washing machine.
mm-hmm.
That's the one that gets me.
your lighting, LED lights. They work, you know.
Well, when you go through your house, you want to look at the largest energy consumers are the ones that heat or remove heat. So we're looking at your air conditioning units. We're looking at your dryers, your water heaters. Those are your large consumers. The vampire loads typically account for maybe 10 to 20% of your total bill. But we want to look mostly for air conditioning, water heating, and your stove even, if you have an electric stove. Those are our big draws. So as James and John were saying, we can't charge you for power that you don't use. We're the electric utility. So if you can reduce that amount, or by turning your aircon down, or turn your aircon up when it's not in use, turning your water heater off when you're not going to be showering, then that can reduce your energy bill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, also using fans. So
Okay.
you want to go fans cool people. They don't cool rooms, they cool people. They help with the evaporative process of keeping you cool. So if you use a fan, you'll feel a lot more comfortable, and would be able to increase the thermostat setting on your air conditioner.
Yeah, that's an interesting point, John, because do you recommend people buy like the floor fans, the oscillating kind that they can just, move from room to room? And I'm also wondering about because I see more and more people getting ceiling fans now. And so when you've got something on top of like a ceiling, basically broadcasting down and drawing heat away, how much does that actually make a difference?
It's quite a bit. I don't remember quite the statistics on it, but it's considerably less power to run a little fan than it is to run an air conditioner, especially a large one like I have in my living room. So
we do have some questions from some of our viewers, if we could get to them. So turning on and off the water heater is okay?
Well, it depends on what type of water heater you have. If you have a large tank water heater, then you would like to just increase or lower the temperature a little bit, not completely turn it off, because when you turn that type of water heater on, it has to heat the entire tank. So lowering it just a little bit before you head out can save a lot of energy. Because how those water heaters work is it gets the whole tank up to a certain degree, up to a certain heat level, and then it maintains that. Once it drops a little bit, it kicks back in. So if you can reduce that the temperature just a little bit, it doesn't have to work as hard.
I did that for a little while, guys. I actually would turn my when I lived in an apartment in Tumon, right? I would turn my water heater on or off during the day when I wasn't there, and then turn it back on. And the only thing you really have to do is there's the technical engineering of switching the machine on and off, but it's also the social engineering of saying, okay, now I've got to wait 10 more minutes while the water heater heats up. So it's a nice trade-off, but it did save me money. I'm proof positive that works.
We have another question. Lights are the biggest decisions to make when purchasing. Is LED lights more power saving?
LED lights, yeah. I'll let Victor talk about that.
Yeah, absolutely. LED lights are, for commercial buildings, one of the largest power consumers. You can save so much by switching to LED. Old lights that we're trying to phase out is CFLs, or compact fluorescents. Those were the new hotness, but that was 10, 15 years ago, maybe even longer. Right now, LED, the light emitting diodes, are the most efficient things you can put into your building.
Plus, they look cooler. They look like the little pigtails.
Oh, yeah. They come in different colors too.
Yeah.
Different color temperatures. So before, they used to be super bright, super white. You could tell it's an LED, but right now, with the technology that's evolved, sometimes you can hardly tell the difference.
And plus, yeah, I mean, you can do things too, and this is, I mean, this does save money, but it also, for an aesthetic purpose, I mean, there's value in that. Is with apps these days, you can actually use like those Philips LEDs, and you can control it off your phone. You can even set it up to some cloud services. So like if you're a Celtics fan and then the Celtics win, your light turns green automatically, and I mean, there's so many cool things you can do, and it's going to save you money. That's the most important thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We'd like to talk about our energy efficiency program, our rebate program. I'd like to give Victor some time on that, because it's a really big program, and we're launching both we've had a residential energy efficient rebate program for a number of years since 2016, but now we're launching our commercial program and government program. So if Victor could have just a few minutes on that?
Sure.
That'd be great.
All right, awesome. So we've had for the past several years, I believe since 2015, we've had a residential AC rebate program. So GPA would pay cash rebates for your high efficiency air conditioning units. High efficiency is in terms of SEER. What SEER is it's the seasonal energy efficiency ratio. It's a bunch of numbers that says that your AC is efficient. The higher you go, the better your unit and the more energy savings. So we wanted to incentivize our customers to switch from old ACs that are very inefficient, just wasting a lot of energy, to more efficient units. And coming soon, we will be launching the commercial program. So that's going to extend our rebates to commercial customers, and that's who are one of our largest consumer base. So we're hoping that it's a great penetration, actually.
Okay, and then James, how can customers do they have to enroll in these programs, or like do they have to set up some sort of application process, and where can they do so?
Yeah, so right now we actually in the process of launching our online portal for the Energy Sense rebate applications. The only way we can receive your rebates at the moment is via mail or by walking the application in, because we do require some original documents for verification. But we are in the works of getting our website up, and I believe our target is towards the end of the month. Hopefully everything goes. And then we would like to invite our customers to apply for the rebates online. And that would ease the process. They'll have a tracking number, and it'll go from customer service to support for their review, and then on to accounting for processing.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think Vic, you made a fantastic point. Some people would think it's like, okay, well, you're doing everything I can so I can use more power so that you can guys bill me. It's no. Why we're here today is you guys they're saying there's information to be passed on to let us know how we can spend less money with you guys, because it's better for the island.
Yes, it
absolutely.
is.
I'd like to go off what James just mentioned about the online rebate application. One of the coolest things I saw about that, when it was being developed, is there's a tracking system. A lot of customers call in and they ask, hey, it's been a little bit, can I get a status on my rebate application? So you don't need to do that anymore. You just log on to our online portal, and if you've ever ordered pizza from Domino's, they have a little pizza tracker that tells you your pizza's in the oven, your pizza's on its way, or it has been delivered. So you have something like that for your rebate application. No need to call in.
You're preaching to the choir here, bro, because ask Sabrina. Like, I sit there and she's like, hey, Jace, what's this thing with this story? It's like, leave me alone. I'm watching my pizza. They're making it. So, yeah. No, so I can totally see myself, like, doing that. And the fact that you have actually made it easier for us, to monitor and to share the information and to actually interpret what that means, and how we can actually bring that down, like Bree said, for the betterment of our pocketbooks and everything like that, is fantastic. So John, we started with you, and we'd like to give you the final word.
Okay, energy efficiency is a great tool. The American American Council for an Economic Energy Efficient Economy has said that we can meet about 50% of our greenhouse gas emissions in the United States simply by energy efficiency alone. So it can save you money. I mean, I'm proof positive that years ago I had a high electric bill, and I cut it in half just by changing out my appliances, mainly my air conditioners and my refrigerators and other appliances. So there's a lot that you can do through conservation and energy efficiency to lower your power bill and get the best bang for your buck in your energy use.
All right, well, boys, well, thank you so much. Victor Torres, engineer over at GPA, James Borja, the customer services manager, and John Cruz, the assistant GM for engineering and technical services. Guys, we wish you, your team, and your families a happy and blessed Easter. And I know it's Holy Week, so we're not supposed to make noise, but everybody watching this, if you try these and you see how low your power bill goes, if you run outside and go, woohoo! I mean, you're not supposed to make noise this week, but I think you know, the church would give you like a little bit of leeway on that one.
Thanks, gentlemen.
Thank you very much. Thank you much.
Have a wonderful day, guys.
Thanks,
All right,
Thanks for the
All right,
info.
take care.
Yes.
Bye.
That is
Bye.
good stuff.
Yeah.
And it's stuff you can start today and you can realize today. So please, you know, like, again, go back to our YouTube channel, watch this interview again, discuss it with your family, share it with your friends, because these tips work.
You can also go to GuamPowerAuthority.com for more information.
All right. So we are going to take a little bit of a break, guys. But when we come back, we are talking about distracted driving. DPW and GPD are in the Zoom room. And when we come back, we'll tell you about what you need to know when you are on the road. The link on a Tuesday continues after.
Let us know what's up on our KOM News WhatsApp tip line at 671-727-0094. Share information about what's happening in your town, on Guam, or the